Hey there, loves. Welcome to Life's Just Cray. I'm Kate, and this is where we talk through real life situations that have you up until 2 a.m. talking with your bestie, like, okay, but what would you do though? Real situations, real talk, no fluff. My grandma always said you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And that's exactly how I move on this show. Everything I say comes from my own experience, and I'm not a professional, but I'm also not here to tell you what to do. But it might help. Now, let's get into it. We are getting into work today because sometimes the place you go to make a living starts taking more than it gives.
I have been working in my industry for 8 years. I started at the bottom, worked incredibly hard, earned 2 promotions over 5 years, and built a professional reputation as someone who was dependable, skilled, and genuinely invested in doing excellent work. I was proud of what I had built for myself, felt a kind of career stability I had never experienced before, and held on to it tightly because I had worked hard to get there. That stability turned out to be far more fragile than I had allowed myself to believe. 4 months ago, my company went through a major restructuring that affected nearly every department. Roles were eliminated, teams were merged, and a significant number of people lost their jobs entirely. I kept mine. I remember feeling relieved, even grateful, when I found out. That relief did not last very long. What I did not fully understand until a few weeks after the dust settled was that keeping my position had come with a completely different reality attached to it. My title remained the same. My salary did not change by a single dollar. But my responsibilities expanded dramatically and almost immediately. I am now doing work that was previously distributed across 3 separate roles. 3 people's jobs are now 1 person's job, and that person is me. And I am not getting paid like 3 people. When I raise it with my manager, he acknowledges that yes, the workload has grown considerably, and yes, it is a significant ask, but the company is navigating a difficult period, and everyone across the organization is being asked to contribute more for now. He assures me it will be formally revisited in the next performance review cycle. That review cycle is 7 months away. I have started waking up at 3 in the morning with my task list running through my head. I have missed 2 family events in the past month because of work deadlines that could not be moved. I sat in my doctor's office recently, and when she asked how my stress levels were, I started crying. And I am not someone who cries easily, and definitely not in a doctor's office. I cannot walk away. I have a mortgage and real financial responsibilities that do not care how burned out 1 a.m. But I also cannot sustain this pace for 7 more months without something in my life giving way. I have been quietly looking at other options, but nothing has come through yet. How do you protect yourself when the thing that is breaking you is also the thing keeping you afloat?
Let me just say this first because I think it needs to be said before anything else. What you just described is not a work problem. And I need you to hear that clearly. And I need you to sit with it for a moment before we go any further. What you're describing is a full life crisis that happens to be wearing the costume of a work problem. The moment your job started waking you up at 3 in the morning, unable to fall back asleep, the moment that it started pulling you away from your family and the people and the moments that actually matter to you, the moment that you sat in your doctor's office and cried in a way that you've never cried before in your entire life, that stopped being a career issue a long time ago. That's your mind and your body communicating with you in the loudest language that they have available. They're telling you that something is seriously and genuinely wrong, and it cannot keep going in the way that it's been going. You're doing the work of 3 people, 3 full human beings worth of responsibility and output and accountability by yourself. without a dollar of additional compensation, without any real acknowledgement, but beyond your manager telling you that the company appreciates your dedication and promising a conversation about it in 7 months. 7 months. I want you to actually sit with that number for a second. 7 more months of continuing to carry a load that was never designed for one person to hold alone. While your sleep deteriorates and your family misses you and your doctor watches you cry more in her office. And I'm going to be completely honest with you because I think you need to hear it directly. That's not a company navigating a difficult period. That's a company taking a calculated advantage of someone that they know will not walk away because they can't afford to. And there's something deeply wrong with that, and you're allowed to be angry about it. But let me tell you what I actually think the most important thing you can do right now is. And it might not be what you expect to hear. Before you start applying to other jobs and before you have another conversation with your manager about the review cycle, and before you make any big moves at all, I want you to seriously consider talking with a mental health therapist, if you're not already doing so. And it's not because something's broken inside you. It's not because you can't handle the hard things either, but because you're carrying so much right now, and you deserve a space where you can just put it down and completely look at it without having to protect anyone else from the weight of it at the same time. And here's something very specific I want you to look into while you're in that space. Ask that therapist about FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act. It exists for situations exactly like what you're describing. If your mental and physical health have been significantly impacted by your working conditions, and based on everything you've shared, it seems like you have. You have legal protections available to you that you may not even know exist. FMLA can protect your job while you take the time to genuinely address your health. And it's not quitting. And it's not a sign of weakness either. It's using a protection that was created specifically for moments when a person's well-being has genuinely been compromised by circumstances beyond any reasonable person should sustain. Because here's what I see if nothing changes. You're gonna burn your candle at both ends. And at some point, the middle collapses. And when it does, it doesn't send a warning first. And it doesn't care about your mortgage or your obligations or any promises anyone made to you about 7 months from now. When a person reaches their full burnout, the recovery is long and hard, and it reaches into every area of your life in ways you cannot fully anticipate until you're already deep inside it. You deserve to be treated like a full human being and not a resource stretched until something gives. Please take care of yourself first. Everything else has to wait. Alrighty, loves. That's all I've got for you today, and you already know where to find me. Slide into the DMs with your situation, and you might just hear it on the next episode. And if this one hit home for you, share it with someone who needs it, because that is what we do. And remember, just because I've said this advice doesn't mean you have to take it. You're the maker of your own decisions, but you must also be willing to deal with the consequences of your actions if there are any. Until next time, take care of yourself.